Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Eagle Eye Podcast. It is episode 54. Running a little bit late as usual. Sometimes things happen. We'll let you guys know exactly why it is that we're a little late, but we got a big pack show ahead of you guys. We have a lot to break down. The Necaxa game that we just witnessed, the Atlas game, our opener in the Clausura 2019, excuse me, and both of those games ending in a victory for our team. But a lot to break down from that game. Of course, then we'll be talking about the upcoming match against Pachuca, our home opener for the year. And then, of course, a lot of things going on in the world of the ladies soccer as well. And we have trivia as well as our 500 follower giveaway. My goodness, we have a packed show.
I'm excited.
And as always, following me along this journey are my wonderful co-host, Mr. Christian Rosendo, and coming back from his long week away at Las Vegas, Mr. Cowboy Dan. Gentlemen, how are we?
I'm doing good, man. I'm very excited to announce everything today.
Super exciting. Cowboy Dan back from Las Vegas. I told everyone that you were out there doing your thing. Also a spiritual journey in essence as well. So hopefully you found everything you were looking for.
I'll tell you what, that beer went down smooth.
Did it?
It did.
Now, funny enough, the week that you were gone, our profit went down in our bank account by like 17%. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
Let's just go on with the show. I want to talk about what I lost.
Was it a lot? Because now
I can't disclose that.
Because now I'm interested. So now you're gonna have to tell me.
Let's put it this
Ivan, why don't we go ahead and start with the Necaxa, the Necaxa game tonight. Go ahead and do that.
All right. You know what?
Trying to run it already. Well, we got a lot of things to announce. We got a lot of things to talk about. We'll discuss about why Dylan has to work now 3 double time overtime on the podcast because of his adventures at Vegas. But that's neither here nor there. We're here to talk to you guys about everything that happened this week with America, and then of course we got ladies on the board as well. They started off pretty well in their home opener against Toluca, which I believe we all watched, gentlemen, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yes. Watch as much as I could.
Very interesting, of course. Very interesting. Okay, gentlemen, let's kick things off. Like Dylan said, we're going to talk about this Necaxa game only because it's fresh and it's what everyone's going to be talking about right now. America goes on into Aguascalientes and beats Necaxa 2-1. But I will tell you this much. Everything changed in that match after Necaxa received the red card. And I promise you that if that red card doesn't happen, America probably doesn't even walk away with a point.
Yes, I can agree with that 100%. We looked headless, confused, without an idea how to play in that match.
Dylan?
Yeah, I mean, most definitely too. It's a young squad. Yeah, I think there's some. I'm not trying to agree with this, but I definitely agree with y'all. But I think there can be some argument made, that these are some of the canteras, the babies. But at the same time, you think they know how to play together. I just feel like it's a different pace and a different level. Go by Mekis between them playing the U23 league. So I mean, there's some argument there, but then again, there's really no excuses too. I mean, you had some quality players starting alongside them too to lead them, and it just didn't work.
All right, let's give a recap to the people that maybe are joining us and weren't able to watch that game. Let's break down the lineup. All right, let's see who. Dylan, do you got the lineup handy there, or do you need me to find it?
I need you to find it, sir.
Oh my goodness, I don't even know where it's at right now.
Don't find where it's at.
Okay, so lineup was what?
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. Do you want to say it though?
No, you got it.
So it was Oscar Jimenez in goal, and then we had Jorge Sanchez on the right, Luis Reyes on the left, and the center back partnership was Bruno Valdez with Carlos Vargas, a name we haven't heard in a while. In the midfield, you had excuse me, you had Guido Rodriguez with Tony Lopez. Out wide, you had Clemente alongside Quintero, and then up top you had Henry Martin with everyone's favorite Itzal Runde. And that was the lineup. It was technically literally a 4-4-2, something we maybe haven't seen in a while as well. And then I mean, coming into this matchup, you would understand that we were going to use a lot of youngsters, but no one really stood out besides maybe Tony Lopez in the sense. And he we already knew what he was capable of delivering. And I would say that he delivered what we expected and nothing more and nothing less.
Now, okay, hold on. I'm gonna go off a little bit here because I do have a question. Does the Copa MX with the players that we played, does that go toward the 1,000 minutes that we need to get
Isn't it
before the
separate?
season ends?
They're two separate
They're two
things.
separate things. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I just wanted to be sure. I wanted to clarify that in case anybody else was wondering that.
Perfect.
Okay.
Now you know what the situation here was, and then throughout the whole game, throughout the first and the second half, I couldn't believe myself when I said this out loud, and I was like, "Wow, we really miss Linus right now in a Copa MX match against Necaxa." For me to be saying that, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. I can agree with that because I think that's something that especially the Piojo puts him in, despite the fact that he's a starter. I think we would have saw him start against Atlas too, regardless of the fact. But still, it's kind of like you said. You have Bruno Valdez on the field. You have Guido in the midfield. I think you can make an argument for Henry too. I mean, these are these guys that you're supposed to show the leadership and to guide the kids, especially the babies, into doing what to do. Other than that, they just seem lost everywhere too. It really didn't seem like they have no structure going down through the whole 90 minutes.
No, understood. And now, here's the thing: a lot of people on Twitter and a lot of people on social media are kind of bashing America for trying to bring in a replacement for Diego Lainez when they're like, you know what, you got the cantera, why don't you push someone forward, bring some of the babies, come forward. And tonight is a perfect example as to maybe why we need someone in Lainez's spot. Maybe the babies that we have aren't 100% ready, and there's no need in wasting an opportunity to fill and bolster your squad, and then and then rather bring in someone else that can take over Linus's spot fairly quickly and maybe is a little bit more talented at the moment than to maybe put all your chips on the line for someone, for example, like Clemente or Quintero, who, by the way, Quintero had a shocking, horrible game. I mean, horrible, completely terrible from this
Really?
game.
You think so? It was that bad? I think in the first half
I didn't think it was that bad.
In the second half he shut off completely. But in the first half, I thought he kind of
in the first half
was in there. He was in there.
Well.
Yeah, he was in there.
He opened up very well, but you know what he couldn't do? He couldn't adapt to his marker. And his marker's Osmar Mares, by the way. All right? Maybe me and Dylan joke around as being the GOAT, but if we're being all serious, you should be able to adapt to a marker like Osmar Mares and be able to go past him. The fact that he wasn't able to do so and he was in his pocket for the rest of the match, that's what worried me. That's what concerned me. Right. The kid wasn't smart enough to get out of that situation. Makes me think he's probably not ready yet for this for the big leagues. As Dylan was saying, there's big huge difference between a Copa MX match, granted away in Aguascalientes, than going up against the U23s.
No, definitely, and I think that brings up your point where America should really look into bringing in another replacement for Linus, because, like you said, these two wingers that we had today, didn't really give a best performance.
Definitely. It's interesting to see what people have been saying in the comments and then on the live chat right now, how they think about this game, whether or not they liked it. Of course, I don't think anyone's really going to say that America deserved the win. I think we maybe scraped by with what we were given at the moment, and we'll take it. Yeah, I mean, it was such a poor game. Even Guido Rodriguez looked poor.
Yeah, he looked shaky, missed passing, players getting by him. It was a very non-Guido-like out there.
It was a very poor performance. It was very, very below the bar. But yet still America walks away with a very decent result. Call it luck if you want, whatever you want to say. Put the blame all on the Caxa player. At the end of the day, you know what? You got the 3 points. Walk with it, learn, and know that you didn't play your best game. And especially for those youngsters, you have to realize that this is your opportunity. Take it by the scruff of the neck and run with it. I mean, look, Tony Lopez had a good game. He would have had a phenomenal game if some of his shots went in. I mean, 2 really good opportunities that he almost scored. Both of them went wide. But you look at this and you say, you know what? I would put all my faith in this kid, at least. Out of everyone that played, it would be him.
Yeah, definitely.
Such a versatile player. To think that we've seen him in almost all the positions possible. We've seen him at left back. We've seen him at center mid. We've seen him now at right mid, and we've seen him at left mid. I mean, the kid's I mean, the kid's building up a very good portfolio in that sense. So I mean,
Yeah.
he's someone to look at, and you can tell that he's maturing and he's matured, and I think if Piojo gives him, more confidence, more time, and if Cecilio does end up leaving, I think this is a player that we could definitely be looking at to maybe fill a role here and there. Now, I'm not saying he's perfect at all. I'm not saying he's the next Diego Lainez. There's been moments when he's even had games last year in the league where he's kind of shut off during the second half, and that I think that was one of our biggest criticism of him, was that the fact that he didn't, play a full round game. But I think in this Copa MX game, he really demonstrated that he's ready to take it up a notch. And I think that's important with these matches, especially. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like I've been doing most of the talking here. What do you guys think about just in general, the game and everything?
The game, just like kind of like you said at the beginning, just very poor to really go on. I think you bring up the point too that the Necaxa get that red card and then the game changes, and America scraped by with the win, especially with the PK. Cecilio doing a good job taking that one, and then Cecilio again finding Henry Martin for the second one. Just at the end of the day, as sometimes it just seemed like there was no end product. I mean, you talked about Quintero, doing decent, in the first half. Then he kind of shut off in the second half, getting pocketed about Osmar Mares, like you said. It seemed like it was kind of creative, but at the end of the day, like there's no end product. And so it was just very poor overall.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. Like you said, the opportunities. Tony Lopez has been given opportunities, and he's taking them. He's shown it. Okay, listen, I can play. Wherever you need me, I can play there. These other two kids in Clemente and Quintero, like this was their chance. From what they showed today, they don't really convince me, and I hope that Herrera gives them more time in the other Copa Meki matches. Maybe to see if there was just a day off. But we need more from these kids because, like you said, at any given moment, we might need them, and they have to be ready.
And you know what the crazy again, excuse me. You know what the crazy thing about this is that, these two kids get an opportunity due to not the fact that it's just Copa MX, but the fact that we're low on players at the moment.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm saying. You never know when it's gonna be your time to get to play, get in the starting 11, get a chance. And when you do, you need to make the best of it.
And two players are actually doing that, and one of them, a name we've been always saying that we'd hope that he takes his chances, and looks like he's finally doing so, is a good man named Henry Martin, someone who looks like he's taking his opportunities, and we'll discuss that more right now when we break down the Atlas game, of course. But he gets a goal. A very quiet game from him, as well as the Atlas game. But like the commentator said, when the moment was given, when the situation was present, he came out on top and again scores himself a goal. Almost had himself a wonderful chilena, by the way.
Almost, yes.
Phenomenal acrobatics from him. And then just his whole time was very quiet. Whenever he did kind of run and try to chase the ball, never really worked out for him. But when he needed to be the poacher in the box, 2 times now he's been able to do it. So, a bit of fortune, it looks like, is following Henry Martin. And hopefully he can ride the wave because, if in doubt, America can't get the transfer negotiations for our new striker done, then I think we'd all prefer Henry Martin to be at the helm of it. If he's in form.
Right, exactly. And it's just real confidence boosting for him, especially like what Kevin Perez said in the comments. Dominguez and Martin scoring in both first games of 2019. I know we're talking about Henry here, but shoot, man, you see him score against Atlas, you see him score now against Necaxa. Going forward, it's just a confidence booster.
This is exactly what we were saying. And I'm sorry to cut you off, Christian. That was the other play that I was going to. But go ahead, Christian. Go.
No, it's funny how you say about Henry Martin. I think his biggest problem is consistency. We know he can score when given the right moment and at the chance, but it's can you do it every game, or at least try to do it every game? Because you have a game where like this one where he scores a goal, and now you put him in next game, and he's walking around like a ghost for 90 minutes. So. I think for Henry is trying to find that consistency, and I think that's when you'll see the best of him.
Definitely. And we'll talk a little bit more about Henry Martin along the way, because I think he's going to be a name that's going to be being heard a lot about this week for America, and of course here in the podcast as well. But just to kind of sum it up and wrap it up, this Necaxa game, I think it's just I was watching it the whole time, and it just felt like one of those games where you thought, okay, if America doesn't walk away with a victory here, then it's okay. It shouldn't be okay, and it probably wouldn't be okay. But would you have felt like, oh, it's ready the time to kick Piojo out if America would have lost this game?
Of course not.
No, right?
No, of course
and
not.
maybe as a fan base, we would give a number of excuses as to why we lose this game, right? You know what? The youngsters weren't ready. It was an away game. It's difficult, blah, 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 blah. Whatever the situation may be, right? There was always going to be some excuse at the helm of it, you know? And if America walked away with a draw, then we would have seen it and we would try to flip it on its head and say, you know what? This isn't the best result, yes, but it's not the worst result either. You still get something out of it. But now America gets this victory, right? America gets this victory, gets 3 points, levels up with Necaxa, and I think it's fair to say that we didn't deserve it. That's out the window already. We didn't deserve that win. 2, we're very fortunate, and 3, we need to build on this, and that's it. You know, and then it's funny enough, all those 3 situations, the only negative one is us winning this game.
Yeah, I mean it's a scrappy win, you know.
But what did we say at the beginning at last podcast, Christian? That it didn't matter as how you won, but that you win. That you start off the season winning, right? We said we take a scrappy win over a convincing draw.
Yeah, I think now because last season, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, because last season I said that I'd rather prefer, you know, us play, like have an idea how to play and I guess lose and I'll be okay. But now I just don't care how we play, as long as we get the win, we get the win.
Because it's builds confidence, right? In the sense we've seen,
especially now at this point of the season, you know, where we don't have a full squad yet. You know, playing with youngsters, trying to fit them in here and there. A win's a win in my book for right now.
Definitely, and if we wanted a game in which our players could maybe hiccup, a player like Guido Rodriguez could have an off night. It's today. A player like that. You wanted it to be today, right?
It's today, brother. Today.
So you were okay with it. So inside you were like, you know what? Get this out the way.
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
Boom, rebound, get back to it on top. Now we got 3 points to go along with it. But at the end of the day, I think it's important that we have these kind of games where you can just shake it all off and then keep going back into the rhythm that you were being.
There you go.
Dylan, anything else you want to say before we close out this little segment?
Nope, said it perfectly. You know, all you can do now is just take this and build.
Perfect. Christian?
Like you just said, just take this and build from it and hope the youngsters show up more in the next game.
Definitely. Well, America walks away with 3 points, 2-1 against Necaxa and Aguascalientes. And that is that. Copa MX will return next week on Wednesday when America hosts San Luis, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
That should be interesting. And then after that, Atletico San Luis, because now they're a different club, even though they pretend that they just put Atletico, they're something else. But that should be interesting to see as well. That one's going to be Wednesday, so we will be talking about that, not next podcast, but the podcast afterwards. So should be interesting to see how the boys cope with that, especially at home game. You would imagine the team is ready to showcase in every way and form. So, gentlemen, let's talk about the league now. America debuted in the Clausura last Friday night against Atlas away at the Estadio Jalisco. America walked away with yet another 2-1 victory in the Estadio Jalisco against a very good opposition. I will say this, Atlas did play a very good game. It was not the Atlas everyone was expecting. You know, it was not the Atlas where we were going to roll over and just completely steamroll them. It was a good Atlas. It was a good Atlas that looked like they knew what they were playing to, that defended very well, especially in set pieces, and that went out to play and you know, chase the game against America. Now, with that said, I think America lacked a lot of I guess play. Like they didn't look like the championship side. We looked very rusty at points of the game. We looked very cold in some manners, and they look like the players were trying to find their rhythm after, you know, that vacation that they had. But what does that say? That when you come out of a, you know, vacation like that, you come away and you go, your first game's away, by the way, no easy matchup whatsoever, to go out and get 3 points on the road in your first matchup, defending your title. Gentlemen, what do you have to say?
Overall?
Yeah, what 90 minutes go by, final whistle blows. What are you feeling? What are you thinking?
Y'all gonna laugh, but I already told you this, Ivan. I think you know I'm gonna say, but the way the performance was overall as a team, I look at it as like a slab of ribs. And what I mean by that is that it's good because the ribs are very good, but it gets sloppy. and that's how I felt the team played Friday night. It's like a slab of
Yeah.
ribs.
No, yeah,
Yeah, I can
definitely.
agree to that. But I think, like you said, it was our first game of the season. Not to actually be an excuse or anything, but try to get the rhythm of things. I think the team did progress as the game was going on. I think they started playing a little bit better. Connecting passes more, a little bit of creativity. But I think that was the main point, Ivan. I think creativity was lacking this game.
Definitely. So we have a couple of talks about Atlas game. Our good friend Mr. Chicken Biscuit says, I feel like we all knew
Oh,
Atlas.
definitely.
If anyone was going to score for Atlas, it was going to be Osvaldito Martinez.
And what a golazo.
A golazo himself. We have the whole Chicken Trinity out here today. Glad to see you guys all come by.
Thank you. No, aren't we missing one?
Nope. We got Chicken Biscuit, we got Chicken Nugget, and we got Chicken Little. So they're all here, ready to go, present and accounted for.
Beautiful.
As well as our good friend Gerardo Alvarado. Miguel Layun, we hope that is the real Miguel Layun. If not, then we still welcome you aboard. Hello, our good friend. Mr. Kevin Perez, everyone, welcome. And anyone, of course, if you watching and listening on either SoundCloud or iTunes, thank you so much. So let's break down this Atlas game real quickly, and then let's talk about what works for America, and let's talk about what didn't. Let's focus a little bit on the positive, and then we'll get negative, since we all love to get negative when it comes to America. I think what worked phenomenal was that Guido Rodriguez and Edson Alvarez partnership.
Oh, definitely, yeah, and it showed. Just they picked up where they left off against Cruz Azul. I guess they just understand each other. They complement each other very well. It brings out the best in both of them.
Dylan, you saw this game, and I want you to give me your intake on that partnership, because it's one thing that you talked about all last season was how crucial the midfield battle was for America going up into that championship round, and now that you see a flourish with Mateus Uribe and now with Edson Alvarez, how do you feel about it?
Oh, I feel good. I feel really good about it. It's just gonna suck. What's gonna happen when Mateus Uribe comes back? No telling what's gonna happen, because then again, you have Aguilera, you got Bruno, you got Edson. Who's gonna start of those three, or you're gonna slot him back into the midfield, and what's gonna happen with Uribe? But seeing it Friday night, I thought it was very, very good. Just left me speechless, really. Really, just kind of like Christian said, it's coming off of that Cruz Azul game too. It's like it never even left that partnership. It's like they're understanding each other. They know where each one's going to be, and they got that space covered no matter what.
Definitely. I think another key. I think our midfield just in general was very solid that game. If you look at what Renato Ibarra did, it wasn't the brightest of games. It wasn't the most spectacular of games either. But I think what he did on and off the ball was exactly what you expected him to do. Very good work ethics. And then you see on the other side, Cecilio Dominguez actually, whilst we criticize him a lot, and yes, he had a lot of plays in which he lost the ball, but he took on a lot of players, got himself in very good positions. A lot of people mad the fact that he missed two very good opportunities, but says the good things about him finding himself in those situations. It's just a matter of him finishing them. And I think in regards to our four-man midfield, I think they were the highlight of our team in that sense.
It's like I told you before we got on. Good Cecilio, bad Cecilio.
Yeah, good Cecilio, bad Cecilio. And we literally had the perfect example again in that Atlas game.
Really, that's all it was. I remember y'all texting in the group saying I can't with Cecilia right now, and I couldn't either. And but like you said, Ivan, you see him take on those one or two players, and you want to see this end product, but you just don't get it. And it's just a mixture of that good Cecilio, bad Cecilio, like I was saying.
Very inconsistent player.
Very inconsistent, but finding some consistency now, of course, in that Copa Mex game we just talked about. He not only provided an assist, but also getting himself a goal and a penalty, which, let's be honest, I didn't have that much faith.
I mean, I guess out of the 11 that were out there, I think Cecilia was the guy to take it.
Yeah, definitely.
But we'll talk more about him if we discuss any transfer updates, because that could have been Cecilia's last game today.
It could have, but we'll talk about that a little bit in a little bit. But I think if you want to look at America's game against Atlas, the fact that our midfield did very well, the highlight of the game was our midfield. Because if we recall back to Henry Martin's goal, who's the player that's pressuring Atlas? And who's the player that forces that turnover?
Renato Ibarra.
Correct, Renato Ibarra. Again, didn't have the most spectacular game, but he did what he had to do, and he did it very well. And of course, that led to Henry Martin picking up the ball. By the way, got very fortunate in that goal. Extremely fortunate. He could rebounded off, I think, the defender's foot, then off the goalkeeper, megged himself, and then it found its way barely into the corner of the net.
It's in.
That's the important part. But that's why I'm saying Henry Martin is kind of followed by this luck right now, and he needs to learn how to ride the wave and find some consistency, like we've been mentioning. But like I said, the midfield, I think, is an A+ performance in the sense that everyone else did very poorly. Now we'll go on and we'll talk about the negatives, because I think there was a lot of more negativity to take away from this game than positives. Let's start off at the defense. I think we looked very shaky whenever Atlas did come and attack us. We looked a bit out of shape in the sense that we didn't know what our positioning was. Sometimes I felt that Aguilera was off. Bruno Valdez kind of had difficulty holding the line. The only one that kind of stood out for me was Paulo Aguilar. I mean, even Jorge Sanchez had a terrible night. I think Jorge Sanchez had such a poor night that Miguel Herrera took him out. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
The Atlas defenders, Atlas attack was consistently beating him. Was consistently getting behind him. He just didn't look himself. I would say that he had a much better game against Necaxa this game than he did against Atlas, and he didn't have the most brightest game against Necaxa either. So, should we be worried about Sanchez?
I don't think so. No. I think it's just, I don't know, beginning of the season type of things. Well, an interesting thing that you bring up. In Atlas, he played left back, but in Necaxa today he played right back. It's that kind of versatility player that we have in Jorge Sanchez, but you saying the little bit off performances, I think we should just not be too concerned. I think he'll be better by Saturday.
I hope so, because I really don't want this kid to be a one-season wonder.
Oh, definitely not. That'd be a shame.
No, and to be honest, I don't know if y'all talked about this on the last podcast, but at times, I was kind of thinking to myself, this is our strongest lineup we have at the moment, and still, I know it could have been a little better, but you still kind of sense that shakiness that you're going to get from this team no matter what, because what actual preseason do you have leading up to the Clausura? I mean, because the team won the championship and then on vacation, and then you have that one preseason friendly against Santos in Houston, and then what else? I mean, you don't really have nothing else to look forward to other than just that one. And so I feel like there's going to be repercussions, and the team's not going to have not necessarily that same championship attitude, I guess I'm trying to get at, because it's going to get thrown off a little bit, and I think that's kind of what we expected. But it's just the way it affected some players. It's not exactly what we expected, because a lot of players went on their A game this game.
No, yeah, definitely. Two things to take away from what Dylan just said. One, he doesn't listen to the podcast whenever he's not on.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Thanks for the support, Dylan.
I'm sorry, I didn't get to download it.
It's all right.
It's not like I send him a copy every night, saying, hey, what, here it is. But that's neither here nor there. Cowboy Dan's, I guess, too busy making his money moves in Vegas. And two, the fact that, yes, that was our best starting 11, and the fact that we kind of should have expected a performance like that, like what you were hinting at. Because you looked at the bench and you thought, well, what was the best possibility of someone coming in? And you thought, what, Insalrulde? And funny enough, he was probably the biggest name in that bench that could come in. And
he was first one on.
And I go to this because we have a question in the chat, and it says, what do you guys think about Insalrulde? He says, I don't think he's good, but rather have him, Ibarra. Wait, sorry, I'm reading this wrong. Can you guys read it? I don't have my glasses.
What do you guys think about Insalrulde? I don't think he's good, but rather have him that's been here for 6 months already, rather than someone who has to come and adapt.
There we go. I apologize for not being able to read that. I am like -0, -5 vision. How's that even possible? Don't ask me. But it's a good question to have, and then it's a question that they were posing this game too in the commentators.
I don't know. Watching him play, it feels like he loves to play like close with someone. You know, he likes to make those short little passes, the short giving goes. I don't think that position where he is playing suits him, because I guess in that position he's supposed to be the one that scores the goals along with Henry Martin. I think if I were a coach or judging by the way he plays, I think he would play better behind the striker, not next to him, if that makes sense.
No, I see what you mean, and he does give off that sense that he does. I will say this: when America does, when Insal Rulde does step on the pitch, he wants to do what Menes does, slow the tempo down a bit.
Yes,
but he does it in a way that's not effective.
Yes,
right.
And he looks lost, just like Chicken Nugget said. He looks lost when he gets the ball. He looks like almost scared. Like he wants the ball, but when he gets it, he looks scared and like doesn't know what to do with it next. Like it's a little awkward, like presence that you have when he has the ball.
He's a good player. I'm not gonna say he's not, because if he wasn't, he wouldn't have been a professional. But I will say this much: he's not an America player.
I was just about to say that. I think the commentator stated perfectly. There are players that are professional, but they're not meant to be America players, you know?
Yeah, Baban Zamorano said it perfectly when he said, there's players for America and there's players that aren't. Simple as that.
Insaurralde is not a player for America.
Nope.
As of right now, because you never know. Maybe next team he scores a hat trick and then we're all, Insaurralde is the best. So as of right now,
I'm not trying to take a dig at any of our friends, but I feel like he'd be a good Santos player.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think he'd be more of a Veracruz player or Lobos
No,
Boa
I see
player.
him in Santos maybe flourishing. I don't know why. I really don't know.
I mean, I don't know. But he's here with us, and like Herrera said, we're trying to relocate him, but we have him here, so we have to we're gonna utilize him, So there's that.
Basically, like Brandon De La Torre says, in Inside Rulde we trust, and Inside Rulde we shall give our faith to.
For now.
But for now. But yeah, that's kind of the worrisome thing, because it leads me to my next big concern for the Atlas game was the attack. Oribe Peralta again. You know what the sad thing is about Oribe Peralta is we're lowering the bar for him. We keep lowering the bar for him.
Yeah.
Before it was Oribe Peralta needs to score an X amount of goals. Then it was as long as Oribe Peralta can get 5 in the season, we're good. And then it's as long as he can score 1 or 2. And then it's as long as he's running and yelling and screaming. And now it just seems like as long as he's just on the pitch, that was a good enough game for Oribe Peralta. And that doesn't sit well with me. I feel like the expectations for Oribe Peralta keep lowering, and we just keep accepting them. I mean, is that fair to say, Dylan? Dylan? Oh no, Dylan.
Well,
Dylan is gone.
The first technical difficulty of the season.
Look at that. Dylan comes back and right away he has himself. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know how this story goes. Dylan with a bit of technical difficulties, but I'll throw the question to you, Christian, in that sense. Is it fine? Is it okay? Is this acceptable that we have that we have these expectations lowered by Oribe Peralta?
Like you said, it's sad to see, because I feel like Oribe Peralta, he kills himself out there, being I don't want to 30, 34?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
So okay, 30 to 34. Being 30 to 34, killing himself, running more than some of these players, it hurts you to see that everyone's just lowering his standards to an extent, like you say. But let's just face it, man. He's just not starting 11 caliber anymore for America. And
you know what the interesting thing about it is, because I'm totally gonna butcher your name now. I'm sorry, my friend. But he brings up a pretty decent point. He says he's a club legend, though, so Peralta is fine. And is it fair enough to say that he's a legend?
I wouldn't say a club legend.
But
I would say he would be remembered as a good America player. But
let me put you in this context. Now, who is more of a legend in the club? Chucho Benitez or Oribe Peralta?
I would say Chucho.
Or why?
Well, look at the records he has. You know, he was top goal scorer.
I'm not trying to argue with
Oribe has never been a top goal scorer for us. Like, at least in the season, Chucho Benitez has. He's been top Liga MX goal scorer. And Oribe hasn't with us.
Really? I thought he did.
No, he's never been top goal scorer. The last top scorer we've had was Chucho Benitez.
Okay. But who won more titles?
Yeah, you're right. Oribe Peralta has.
And I wasn't trying to go against your argument. I was just trying to make the point to everyone that even though Oribe Peralta has been here longer, even though Oribe Peralta has given us more titles, more goals in that sense, he is still behind Chucho Benitez.
Definitely.
Because isn't that crazy to say?
Yes. It is crazy because you would think, okay, this guy's giving us more titles. You know, he's been our captain for longer, so he should automatically be a club legend, no? More than Chucho Benitez, but that's not the case, though. At least in my opinion.
Okay, so if that's the case, then why are we accepting the bar to lower for Oribe Peralta?
I mean,
if he isn't in that club legend sense, if he is not a bigger name than Chucho Benitez, then why is it okay that the more the seasons go by and the lower that he's giving us in regards to performances, the more okay we're okay with it. We're normalizing it in the sense.
I think because we just know that his time's almost up. I think me and you, and I guess Dylan, if you're here, if you can hear me.
I'm back.
Okay. I think his time is up. I think this will most likely be his last season. In the summer, he might be departing ways. I just think we just have to deal with him 6 more months, and that's it. But in the case of Chucho Benitez, when he left us, he was still relatively young, going to another country. So I guess there was more on the bar for him. I guess because his ceiling wasn't there yet. Like, he hasn't reached his ceiling yet, his full potential. But we already know Oribe Peralta. We know what he's done, and his potential's not here anymore. It's down here. So why expect something up here when we know he only could give down here?
And that's a good argument to make. Age-wise, he's not maybe at his form. Obviously, everyone dips when they get older, but he's still starting, and he's still our captain.
Well, he's still starting because there's a shortage of players, as Dylan said.
Yeah, but okay,
because if you have a Henry Martin in form and you have a Roger Martinez healthy, you don't think that's the partnership?
Definitely. Okay, definitely. So, but I'm not talking about I'm talking about a present situation right now. And what is your 2 cents on this, Dylan?
Not really sure how this.
Yeah, started. I was about to
say. How did you start talking about Chucho?
In regards to, well, I mean, you left us for quite some time. In regards to Oribe Peralta's bar lowering and us normalizing it and us being okay with it, what's your intake on that? I mean, Christian has said it. It's due to the age factor. It's due to the fact that we see that his time is coming. But I'm making the argument that, but he's still playing. He's still out there. He's still the captain. So doesn't he still own some responsibility?
I mean, yeah, you would think, but I think too, if you go back a few podcasts ago, I remember getting real heated about something we were discussing. I can't remember exactly what, and you're all like, you answered your question yourself. What he was starting because it's a business too. Really, I mean, I agree with Christian. His age is getting there. I mean, you respect the hustle still. I still respect the hustle because you see
I think
the
everyone still respects the hustle.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's just. I mean, some players can still play at the high level at that age, and some players can't. And Oribe Peralta has proven that he really, really can't. I mean, yeah, we get some goals here and there, but it's not consistent goals. And that's something that we've always talked about, too, coming from our strikers. We don't get consistent goals from our strikers. I mean, I think if we look back at it, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it Bruno that was our leading goal scorer? He had 6 goals. He had 6 goals, and I think one statistic that I pointed out too, between all three of our strikers, including Henry, Oribe, and Roger, I think between all three of them there was only like 12 goals, while the rest of the team had like 20 something goals between everybody. And so that's something that's worrisome. That's something that you gotta realize too, is you're not getting all your goals from your strikers. You're getting it from everybody else on the team. And you can make the argument the ball's being spread around, but then again, you're paying so much for these players and they're not producing like you want them to.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at the sense that there's still more much to be said about this situation, and I'm pretty sure we'll have this discussion more in the future as well. But just to kind of close it off, Dylan, I gave Christian this question. I'm gonna give it to you, and it looks like the chat's been going crazy about it as well. But in your eyes, who is more of a club legend, Oribe Peralta or Chucho Benitez?
Oh gosh, I mean, because I was a fan with both of them around.
Yeah, that's why you're the perfect person to ask right now.
Yeah.
What's your gut say?
I'm gonna be real honest. My gut's kind of saying Oribe.
Your gut saying Oribe.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think you're the only one here.
My gut's Oribe, but my heart's Chucho. I'll say that. But I haven't said gut, so I went my gut.
I'm because we made the argument and stuff like that. Then you can go back and listen to it if you want, Dylan. But
well, we know you won't. But
but at the end of the day, it's a real argument that has to be said and will be discussed later on in the future as to whether or not who was a bigger name.
Right?
Because at this point, it's going to be interesting. But again, we'll have a whole bunch of this later down the season, so we'll talk about this more. So let's jump back into the Atlas game, because funny enough, we still haven't even finished that game.
Right.
So worrisome to see that our strikers weren't really getting the ball. They were trying to get involved, but it didn't seem natural. It didn't feel right. Oribe Peralta chasing, Henry Martin chasing. It never really worked. I will say this though, I did enjoy to see America high press Atlas. Whenever we did, you saw good things happen.
Another thing I want to point out, actually, that's kind of disappointing. But touching on your high press comment, yes, it was refreshing to see. I think me and you both said it, that I think America needs to learn how to press more, and we seem very effective when we do press. But a thing I wanted to touch on is throughout the whole game, America had 14 shots, and it was nice to see America shooting the ball for once. The only problem is that they only had 4 shots on target, and only one of them
wasn't there.
And only one of them was from a striker, which was Henry, and was the shot. This was the goal. So other than that, the strikers didn't shoot the ball.
Yeah, and that's what I was alluding to, the fact that our strikers were very quiet this game.
Yeah.
Our defense seemed very shaky at times. So it wasn't a perfect game by any means.
No, definitely. But I mean, it's expected, I guess. First game of the season, I guess everyone's not at full rhythm yet, but it should get better within time, hopefully. At least that's what we expect.
Yeah, and the narrative that we need to take away from this is that America walks away with the 3 points, which was the only result we would have accepted, correct?
Definitely, yes. I don't care if it was 1-0, 2-0, 5-0, 10-0. A win was a win.
He's like, I don't even care if we won this game because one of the players didn't have a credencial. Point
exactly. They would have forfeited. I don't care. The 3 points is 3 points. It's ours. And because it's important to, that's what I'm saying, because it's important to start off the season on the right foot, especially as defending champions. You want to say to the league, okay, listen, we're not slowing down. We're going for this bicampeonato.
Yep, especially when you see a certain team from Guadalajara starting to win 2 games, and they're ready to call themselves ready to climb to that 13th title.
Listen, man, I know they're a rival or anything, but they're honestly annoying. They win 2 games. They're sitting on top of the table right now, and they think, oh, this is it. The Liga should end right now. I mean, the Liga should start right now. Let's go. Let's get it.
Hey, they're still not ahead of Lobos WAP, right?
Yeah, Lobos WAP number 1.
But we'll leave it at that. It's scrappy game, good performance from our midfield, poor performances from everybody else.
Yeah.
At Piojo, I think planted this game pretty well, especially with everything that he had at hand.
That's what I'm
you
saying.
know, with the fact Diego Lainez leaving, the fact that you still had injuries to consider. So pretty good performance from this team, and 3 points. That was the important part. So America walks away and looks forward to their next matchup against Pachuca, which we will preview in a second. So with that said, America starts off on the right foot, 3 points, nothing more, nothing less. So, gentlemen, anything else you guys want to add on before we move on to our next segment?
Oh, man, I'm good.
No.
Dylan, you're good? Your Wi-Fi up and running again?
My phone Wi-Fi is.
Oh, the struggle's correct?
The struggles. School Wi-Fi.
Struggles are real. That's school Wi-Fi. Oh, man. Dylan's always complaining to me. He's like, I pay so much money, and the Wi-Fi doesn't work.
Yeah, it's still bad. We've complained about this, but nothing's fixed. Oh, well.
Unbelievable.
Well, I mean, what do you expect? The government shut down.
Is that why Trump fed McDonald's to all the Clemson players?
That's ridiculous, dude.
Okay, yeah. Say your point, but we shouldn't be talking
so
about.
Cheap.
We're gonna run out of.
That's cheap. All right, that's cheap. We'll just leave it at that. That's for another podcast.
You guys can talk about it in the chat, though. I would love to see your guys' comments about this.
Definitely. All right, so we're moving on to our next segment, our most beloved segment from everyone, and mostly a lot of people probably are here. Not the giveaway, we're not there yet, but we will get there soon. But the baby of Christian, our trivia is back, ladies and gentlemen. And for those of you who are ready to enter the competition, well, Christian, take it away for them as I post the link. Let them know.
All right, thank you, Ivan. If you guys missed it, I'm sorry for you guys. There was a trivia. It actually officially started on Friday. Was the 40 points. Just a quick breakdown for everyone that's new or returning. I guess it's still the same rules. The question on the podcast will be worth 20. The one on Twitter that we posted every single Friday is worth 10 points. And something new I'm trying to do this season is post a scoreboard on Twitter every Friday, so to see how you guys are doing during the season and see if you need to tune in next week to get to catch up. I'll have that up for you guys every single Friday. Just a quick side note, because trivia did so well last season, the company Eagle Eye Podcast decided to buy me a new microphone as a present for all my hard work. So thank you to
that was the only money we had left over after Dylan went to Vegas.
So yeah, there you go. Thank you to the La Directiva for awarding me this. But let's get on with the question for tonight. Tonight's question is: Cuauhtémoc Blanco scored his last goal with America against what team?
Oh man, that was easy.
So
Tecos, right? Right, Dylan?
I was thinking it was FC Dallas.
I don't know about FC Dallas, but yeah,
actually, it was Dallas Burn then.
Oh, maybe. That
go.
one sounds a little bit more viable.
There you go. So, Ivan, if you can post the link.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Go and get your question and answers in. Well, not your question, of course, but go answer the question. Get your points, and get yourselves into that scoreboard. Me and Dylan have decided to opt out of this season just because we feel like, we feel like we don't want to get embarrassed again. Plain and simple.
You guys had the lowest scores last season. It was
and you know terrible. What? I dare to say that we will have the lowest score in all the history of trivia ever.
Yeah, you guys had a negative score. Like, how is that even possible? I don't even give out negatives, and I had to because some of the answers I was getting. So it was that bad.
No, definitely. Right. So make sure you guys go answer the question. You guys got yourselves an hour, and it should be interesting. Go have fun. We love to see your guys' interactions. We love to see how you guys interact with these trivia questions. And I'm excited every Friday to see those scoreboards.
Definitely. It's gonna be nice.
If I was a betting man, I would definitely make some kind of wager on some of you guys because you guys know your stuff.
Yeah, you guys are very smart. But yeah, thank you guys. I'm stumbling here. Thank you guys again for participating every Friday and tuning into the show every Tuesday to answer the questions. It means a lot to all of us here, and we can continue to do this.
Awesome. So make sure you guys keep going on that trivia journey with us. So, gentlemen, now let's move on to our next segment, a segment very fun to all of our hearts. It's our Lady Águilas. We're going to briefly break down what happened against Toluca in the ladies' home opener. And then, of course, Dylan will let us know who exactly they're playing up against next in their tercera jornada of the Clausura 2019. So, gentlemen, let's talk ladies, who had a very interesting game come Saturday on the 12th, which was live broadcasted by Univision Deportes. So that was very interesting, very fun. I could not race home faster from the gym to go watch the ladies play. It was phenomenal. I usually get up in the mornings to watch Manchester United play. I have not gotten up in the morning this whole year, this whole season, and been like, yes, I can't wait to watch a game, because, of course, those of you who follow Manchester United know how terrible we've been doing this season. They're picking it up, but it was very fun and interesting to finally be able to sit down and be like, okay, we can watch the ladies play. We can break them down. We could talk about it on the podcast, and we could live tweet. I think that was the most exciting part.
Yeah, it really was. Especially whenever I saw it, I was like, yes. I was like Eric, you said, I was finally ready to watch a game. Besides whenever we watched the final, the second leg.
This is phenomenal to be able to watch that game live. So the ladies came into this one, of course, also defending their title. It was going to be interesting to see how they came out, if they could come out on top. Of course, some of their big name signings weren't on the field yet, but soon to see them and soon to see what they have to bring to the table. Mm-hmm. In regards to how the ladies played, I will say this: just like the men, it looks like it was their first game, and it looks like they still have much more to grow. But I saw some very positive things.
Yeah. Just coming out, again, I don't think I'm not really much of preseason, just some vacation, then, just back in training. You did see a couple things, that you're like those mistakes, especially leading up to that first goal, which is something that you didn't want to see, just going off of the fact that, this was one of the best defenses up and through the last season. So, going forward, just picking it up, getting back on that pace, of that winning pace again for them. Overall, though, I think the ladies got it done whenever the game was over.
I will say this, though. That first half was intense for those first 10 minutes to have 2 goals right away. That was crazy.
I love how we scored, and then I look away and Toluca scored. I was like,
yeah,
that just happened.
That was very worrisome moment of the match for us.
Unfortunately, I couldn't watch the whole game. I only caught a snip of the second half, but I saw that part though, and it was very weird.
It was weird. But if you look at the game as a whole, I think America dominated most of the part. Toluca had some of the ball, but their advances weren't really there. I think there were some opportunities in which JD just needed to collect the ball, and that was pretty much it. Interesting enough, America didn't have their lady goalkeeper, Cecilia Santiago. Do we know what happened to her?
She got called up.
But so did Cassandra.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know.
Oh yeah. You're right. I don't know. I don't have nothing on that. I didn't realize that. I thought it was a call up.
But I will say this: it's nice to see JD start a game, and it's nice to see her perform the way that she did. She actually liked one of our tweets that we tagged her in. So shout out to you, JD, if you're listening to this right now, and to all the ladies who may be listening to the podcast. Just keep it going. But they played very decently well in the second half, controlled the game, moved forward, actually had more opportunities. Cassandra herself missed a couple, but then found herself, scoring again. It was fun to see them play. They once they started getting into the rhythm, once they started, opening the game more, they flourished and they definitely seem to be the better team against Toluca. I will say this though, to those of you who watch this game and kind of want to compare it to the men's game and say it's not as fast paced, it's very rigid sometimes, it's very choppy. That's just the way the game is at the moment, and you have to take it with a grain of salt, and you have to take it for what it is right now at the moment, and kind of learn to see it from what it is than to rather from what you expect it to be compared to the men's game. Because the game is slow. The pace is very slow. It's very rigid sometimes, and sometimes you feel like it's like, how is this even possible? But sometimes you just got to take it for what it is. Also, the pitch did not help. The ball did not roll as fast because, damn, that pitch is terrible. I mean, the ladies, we need to do something about this because the ladies should be playing in the Azteca. And the only reason they did not play was because Cruz Azul was playing that day.
So dumb. It really is.
We got to get them out of the Azteca ASAP.
Yeah, we do. They need to go build their own stadium again.
But we should have just betted it, huh? And during the final, like, if we win, you guys leave. That would have been a good idea.
Yeah, but whatever, right?
Been a good idea.
Resurrect Stadio Azul.
Seriously, but no. Congratulations to the ladies. They get themselves some 3 points. Some very good players, pulling up Cassandra, of course, who maybe is gonna loom over the other Cueva, Lucero.
Lucero.
She seems to be up and up. I will say this, though, Lucero had a quiet game, but a very good game. She did things off the ball very well, some very intelligent runs. Whenever she did get the ball, she knows how to shield it. She knows how to, hold the ball up so that, her partners can come and play off of her. So it was a very good game on her end as well. I think it was just a well-rounded game. I won't say it was the best game for most of these ladies, but I will say this, first game back after pretentious long vacation, to come out and score 3 goals and walk away with a victory against the home crowd. That's got to feel nice, and it's definitely going to boost the confidence of these ladies.
Yeah, no doubt at all. And just got to keep chugging forward, and no doubt that we can make another run at this.
Definitely. All right, Dylan, tell us, when do the ladies play again?
This Friday against Cruz Azul.
Oh my God, we got a Clásico Joven in the ladies already. What time is that game going to be?
4
p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. I wonder if that game will be broadcasted.
I don't know. There's no word on it yet.
Yeah,
I would hope so. But I will say probably not, because it's not prime time.
I mean, you never know.
Which is a bit sad.
I mean, Saturday wasn't prime time either.
If you think about it, for a ladies' game at 12 and noon on a Saturday, that's prime time in the sense that, think about it, all the Premier League games have just finished playing. So people are still on their TVs. So you scroll down to TDN and boom, there you go, the ladies' game.
We'll see.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, but if it's televised, though, we'll tweet it out, though, on our Twitter.
Definitely. Yeah. I will not be able to watch the first half, but I would so race home after work to watch the second half, if that is the case. Because it's a Clásico Joven, all right? So Friday, first thing you do before you hit the club, you got to go out and you got to make sure you tweet out #Lady Aguilas. Make sure these ladies know that we are supporting them. They know about us. I know they know about us because JD liked their tweet. She's
so does Cassandra.
And Cassandra too?
Yeah, she has before.
Oh my goodness. So look at that. So the ladies know about us. Make sure they know even more by showing our support. #Lady Aguilas. Make sure you guys do tweet that out live. And make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at Eagle Eye Podcast. Because, of course, hey, we're doing giveaways. Not just a 500 one, but we're going to be talking to you guys about a 600 giveaway as well. And would you look at that? We are now at 630 followers.
So now we're
so 70 more followers away, and we'll be doing a 700 follower giveaway. I mean, that's phenomenal. And we'll talk a lot more about that soon enough, but we can't say thank you more. As many times as we said it, I don't think it's enough. But thank you to everyone who has supported us, who's liked us, who's followed us, and everyone who's here right now on the live chat, everyone who's listening right now through SoundCloud and iTunes and Spotify. Thank you so much for everything. And can't believe we're this far into the season and we're this big. So thank you so much. We owe you guys everything, and then we hope somehow we can repay it to every single one of you, with good content and maybe with a little bit extra here and there. So, gentlemen, let's talk and let's go on to our next segment.
I think everyone's favorite segment,
Pachuca.
Yes, the match on Saturday. This is gonna be a good one. I'm excited for this one.
It should be a phenomenal game. It's America going up against Pachuca at home. It's our home opener. We will be wearing that orange third kit uniform So that should be interesting to see. And then of course the game is going to be live 5 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern. And what can we expect from this game? You know, what can we expect?
There's gonna be a lot of back and forth. I think Pachuca was one of my teams to look out for this clausura because of the moves they made in the transfer. I think they had a very good transfer window, bringing in very key players. I guess the biggest name would be Edwin Cardona coming into Pachuca, and I think he can offer them a lot when he's in form and when he's healthy. He's healthy right now. He seems to be playing well, so he should be a scary player for Pachuca.
You said that about Atlas last podcast too.
Yeah, well, because it's true.
No, it's true. These guys are, you know what the sad thing is? They're making good moves on the transfer window, and we have made zero.
Yeah, we've literally made zero moves. The only move we made was shipping lightness. That's it.
Well, it's a bit pretentious from us, but we'll have to wait and see. So now let's talk about it. Dylan, you give me your expectation for this game. Christian says it's gonna be a lot of back and forth. There's gonna be a lot of pace. It's gonna be a good Pachuca side coming up against us. What do you expect to see from this match and from the boys?
Yeah, definitely back and forth too. Christian brought up Cardona. I was kind of thinking Victor Davila too. I know at one point America was linked to Davila, but then apparently Pachuca beat us to his signature. So Pachuca again, Davila is really, really going to be a problem. Depending on who starts, I know we'll get to that later, but the back line is going to have to really stay sharp the whole game, especially with him up top.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a player to look out for. And then now that we talked a little bit about Pachuca, let's focus on the team itself. Let's focus on America. And as we always do, boys, give me your predicted lineup, and then we'll go on from there. Dylan, I'll throw it to you first since you weren't here last week. Give me your predicted lineup for the game against Pachuca.
Depending on what happens, but I think I'm going to go with the same lineup we had this past week against Atlas. But if say Cecilio leaves, which is a very good possibility that he leaves, I don't know. I think I see Tony Lopez starting his spot.
Okay, Christian.
Same exact thing.
Okay, so we'll read it out to the people. It's Marchesín in goal. George Sanchez on the left, Paulo Aguilar on the right. Center back partnership is between Bruno Valdez and Emmanuel Aguilera. Midfield is Renato Ibarra on the right. Cecilio Dominguez, if he's still here. If not, Tony Lopez on the left. And then in the midfield, you have Edson Alvarez with Guido Rodriguez. And then up top, Cecilio Dominguez. Oriol Peralta and Henry Martin. Now, let's talk about the players that are missing before we start talking about the players that are there.
Sure thing.
What is our situation on Roger?
Roger Martinez. I think he'll be back by the end of January.
Okay. Mateus Uribe, do we have an update on him?
Mateus Uribe, he's getting there, but probably the same thing.
So we have 3 crucial players out until the month of January. 4 if you count Ibarwen till
the end of February. The end of February, yeah. So basically, you'll have a full squad with the 4 returning players and the 2 signings that Baños said that were gonna come. So 6 players, all by the end of February. We should have a full squad.
So, like I said, well, you're saying to the end of February, but I'm thinking, so by the end of the Super Bowl, we should know exactly what this team's going to look like in regards to squad, at least.
Yes.
Okay. That is a long time away from now.
That is a very long time away, yes.
That is 3 games, at least 3 games in the league that you have to play with this team that you have. Now, we got a result against Atlas. Tell me, are you as confident against Pachuca to walk away with a good result in this team?
I'm confident, definitely, because I think the players that we have right now can do it. It's just if we need to be better than our performance needs to be better than what we did against Atlas. That's number one. If we have the same performance against Atlas, this could get a little bit tricky here and there. because Pachuca can just snap on you with the finger. But I think we should be able to pull it off.
Okay, so Christian's saying they can Thanos us. Um, I will say this though. What worries me about this America side is obviously the left wing. If we don't have Cecilio Dominguez there, will Tony Lopez be able to step up to a very big game against Pachuca? And then of course our striking position. Henry Martin or Oribe Peralta, as much as Henry may find some form, his partnership with Oribe Peralta seems to worry me in the fact that you said it yourself, Christian. We're not taking enough shots. We're not getting enough opportunities for them to go at it. I'm kind of worried about the defense. I don't know. I have to wait and see. It is our starting back four that won us the title, so we shouldn't. But it's America and these players, we've criticized them so long that it just seems natural for us to go back and criticize them after a game against Atlas. So I think this is really a game of two tails. It could easily be a game in which we can come out and criticize again America for everything that they do wrong, or it could be a game in which the players can showcase and prove to us that any one of them are capable of stepping up to the moment and walking away, victorious.
And I think that's what you want, no? I think you want a good performance from whoever is out there on the pitch. Just give you a sense of relief if you're Miguel Herrera.
Yeah, definitely. You want the latter here, but it's whether or not you're going to get it. And that's what worries me, because after this Necaxa game, you rested most of those key players, and I would imagine it's for a reason. So now what's the question here? Dylan, what do you expect from these players, from this team?
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We need all 11 players playing on the pitch. Do I feel confident? I mean, yeah, I still feel confident, but not as much as I did against Atlas. For me, I think it's gonna be a scrape by. Really, the way I look at this, and yeah, y'all probably gonna laugh again, is if I'm eating a barbecue sandwich and they put coleslaw on it, I'm gonna scrape off the coleslaw. And that's how America's gonna have to do. They're gonna have to scrape off the coleslaw this game, especially the way it was, especially the way we were talking about it the last game against Atlas, and the way we're talking about it too against this Necaxa game. Even though we rested a couple of key players, it was a lot of some of the babies too. But at the end of the day, throughout the season, really, everybody's gonna have to play. It has to be 11 players on the pitch because now we have a target on our back.
Yeah, perfectly well said. We do have a target on our back. Everyone's trying to beat us. We're the champions. Of course, everyone's going to play their best against us.
They always do.
And yeah, and then it's a fact. We're America, so they always do. But now here's the question. If you put both starting 11s, both teams against each other, do we still have more talent than Pachuca in this game?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I think so.
I would
argue they have bigger key players.
Yes, I was going to get to that. I think they beat us in that sense, but I still think we have the better 11.
Okay. And maybe that's the key.
Maybe that's
going to be the key. Okay. So let's talk quickly tactic-wise. What does America need to do to beat this Pachuca side, who actually is coming off a victory from their previous Liga MX encounter against Querétaro, which they passed 3 goals against Querétaro.
Just note that Querétaro had a red card at the 15th minute.
And one of the goal was an own goal.
So,
but they're walking in with that confidence.
But yes, like you said, yes, they are.
Yeah.
One thing we need to look out for Pachuca is their offense. They had 28 shots against Querétaro, and we're gonna have to try to limit that. Don't let them take so many shots, because when they do, some of them can go in. You have Edwin Cardona, you have Franco Jara, who are very good, who can shoot the ball very well. So you have to limit those chances as much as you can.
So what I'm hearing is condense the play, condense the field, make tight spaces, and
I guess break off when you're on the attack, like we're known to do.
Okay, so you're saying
spread the field. I meant when you're on the attack.
Okay. So then I have to say that to our midfield in regards to the middle of the field, I'm talking Bruno Valdez Aguilera, Guido Rodriguez, and Edson Alvarez are gonna have such an important game in this match. And also, I'm looking at the wingers. Are they gonna come back and defend and recover? Because it looks like we're gonna need them.
Oh, definitely. And hoping that whoever's on the wings can do that, because we have seen time and time again that the wingers don't like to come back as much.
Dylan, you were going to say something?
I mean, I'm not too worried about Renato coming back. It's just whoever is going to be on that left side I'm worried about.
Yeah, that's true. Now let's look at it on the offensive side of things. How do we break this Pachuca side down?
Man.
It could be tricky.
Because they. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Dylan. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, because like we've already stated too, we've seen some of the final third and the creativity already lacking still, which is something that we've already talked about before, including in the past season too. So how you approach this, you got to find that, whether it starts in the training ground or just talking and trying to spice some things up, which we've said, are we going to get it? We'll have to wait and see, in my opinion.
Yeah. I was gonna point out Toto's tricky because we like to play on the wings a lot, but both of their left back and right back are very good, and Emmanuel Garcia and Raul Lopez are very good defensive backs, and that's something we should look out for. Another thing we should look out for is Raul Lopez likes to go on the attack a lot. Maybe if we can catch him in one of these plays, catch him slipping, maybe they're a man down on defense. That's when we need to go out and attack and capitalize on that.
Okay. I agree. Completely agree with the both of you. I think quick 1-2 plays are going to be important.
Definitely.
That key kind of partnership that you can have with your attackers and your midfielders.
One more thing. Keep the ball away from, try to at least, or limit whatever Victor Guzman and El Burrito can do, because when they get space, they can make some pretty amazing passes.
And that's where this kind of midfield battle is going to go, and we're going to have to see Guido actually step it up again, and Edson Alvarez, that partnership flourish again, because those two can easily take on Pocho Guzman and Burrito in that sense.
Yes, definitely.
Dylan, it looked like you were about to say something.
No. Go ahead.
So yeah, I think those kind of short passes that kind of link up, and we're going to have to see a lot more from Henry and Oribe Peralta. Take those opportunities, Henry Martin especially, and go at it. Run, be creative. Try to take on a player or two. I think Renato Ibarra and whoever's playing on the left wing, be adventurous at time with the ball.
Not too adventurous.
Yes, I will say be adventurous, but don't be careless at the same time.
Yeah, you gotta be disciplined. Yeah.
Know how to be adventurous, but still have that discipline to know when one play too much is one play too much. But yeah, I agree. It will be a tough game. It will be a very, very battled out game, which is interesting to hear what you guys have for a prediction. Not just you guys, but everyone on the chat as well. Let us know what your guys' prediction is for this game. I will throw it to you, Christian. What is your prediction for Saturday's game against Pachuca?
I'm going to say 3-1 again. I'm only going to say 3-1 is because I saw in the Pachuca Monterrey game, when Pachuca's down, they tend to make a lot of mistakes and they seem like the game is over already. So I think that we're going to capitalize on that. So 3-1.
So an early goal is key is what you're saying.
Definitely. But I saw some way they're going to manage to score one though.
Okay. All right, Dylan, what's your prediction?
I'm going to go back with the 2-1 win.
2-1. You know what? If you were here last week, I just realized you would have freaking won the prediction. Because I knew you were going to say 2-1. I knew it. All right, so Dylan's going 2-1. We got some people on the chat saying, Kevin Perez saying either 1-1 or 2-1 again. Chicken Nuggets saying 2-1. Chicken Biscuits saying 2-1 again. Gerardo Alvarado saying 4-2. So he's being adventurous with the scoreline. Louis is our good friend Luis is saying 0-2 Pachuca lose. And what I'm saying, I'm gonna go conservative here. And I'm definitely gonna say 1-0. I think America is gonna go get a scrappy win again, hold them off. Won't be easy, won't be good on our cholesterol or our heart, but America will walk away with the victory 1-0. And interesting enough, if everyone's ever wondering what is going on in the background of my TV while we're podcasting, I'm actually I have the game simulated. So what EA Sports FIFA has said the game is going to end is America 4, Pachuca 3.
That's a high score game.
So we'll see which one's right, whether FIFA is right, whether we're right, or whether our good listeners in the chat are right. So it should be interesting to see what happens in that aspect. So we're expecting America to win. We're expecting a result at home. Of course, it's our first game. I mean,
if they scrape off the coleslaw,
would it be the end of the world if they get a draw?
No, because I think you're drawing against a very good side who's most likely going to start picking things up, despite their 5-0 opening game, 0-5 opening game against Monterrey. So maybe they're starting to string things together because this is if you look at their lineup, it's a very, very good lineup. And you would think it'd be a lineup, to contest for the title. So I wouldn't be too upset with the draw, but I really do think we should get the W.
Dylan?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'd be pretty content with the draw. I mean, just not like if we like lose in like the last minute. Then if that happens, then I'll be pretty upset with it actually. But I mean, if it's hard fought, then pretty content. But really, the win is more needed.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. So we'll leave it at that. We'll see what the mood is next week on the podcast, and then I guess we'll accept whatever was the situation, and we'll talk about that. But hopefully, the boys go out there and perform and showcase, and really try to keep that good run and good form going. We know it's not the strongest starting 11, but it is a very good starting 11 that we hope could still walk away with a result, and then of course that result only being a win at home. Which it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be an honor to Chespirito in the sense El Chanfle with our orange uniform. A lot of people hate it. Some people like it. It's starting to grow on me, to be honest.
I'm still buying it either way. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter either way.
But let us know in the chat if you like the jersey or not.
They were having a little discussion about it earlier, but then we gotta start on this whole Pachuca game. But we'll leave it at that. Make sure you guys do tune in on Saturday. We will be live tweeting the match. Come join us. Come interact with us. Come sing along with us. Hopefully, plenty of goals. Hopefully, it's not this EA Sports one because a 4-3 result. I don't know if I could take that that kind of excitement on a Saturday.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
But we'll leave it at that, and we'll see you guys come Saturday. So we wrap up that and we close out the podcast with our last segment. Been going on for quite some time now. Our last segment of the night, and that is what everyone's been waiting for. We are here to announce our 500 follower giveaway. And for those of you who don't know what they're gonna be getting, well, they're gonna be getting their jersey of choice from America,
home or away.
Home or away, and B, a copy of FIFA 19 for Xbox and PS4. So, 2 big lucky winners. Let's see who is the winner. Now, before we go on and announce these winners, we do want to say from the bottom of our hearts, this means the world to us for you guys to support us, and it's ridiculous the amount of support that we've gotten in the past month. And this month's not even over, and I have to say this month because it's been that crazy. We were shy of 500 coming into the new year. Got it within a week. Within a week, you guys are phenomenal. Within a week, we jumped to 600 followers. So now we're ready to give a 600 follower giveaway, and we'll let you guys know exactly what that is in a second. And we're so close to 100 followers on YouTube. So guess what? We're also thinking of doing a little something for you guys as well. It's phenomenal, the support we're getting. It means the world to us. It really does. And I want to give the boys an opportunity to say what they want to say before we go any further. So, gentlemen, the floor is yours to talk to the listeners.
I think it's only right if Dylan goes first.
Why is it right if I go first?
I think I don't know. I just had to say that. I had to gather my thoughts.
No, I mean, I even basically said it. I mean, we thank you all. I just wish, we can meet you all and give you all something, even if it's a handshake. I just being respectful. I don't know. I just want to meet you all one day, hopefully. But I mean, it wouldn't be possible without y'all. Just the way we grew, and barely doing this over a little over a year. It's just crazy, and just seems surreal to me. But thank you all, and God bless.
I think one of the biggest things we've said coming into this new year is, trying to give back more. And, we've worked very hard, all three of us, in terms of the show, how we can produce better content, our Twitter, how can we do better there with graphics. And it's just great to see all of our hard work being paid off. And the amount of support is really immense. I think these past 2 weeks we've gotten like surreal numbers of interactions and feedback from everybody. It's like I said, it's surreal to all three of us, and we just can't be more blessed to have you guys supporting us every day. So thank you guys, and I hope we can continue to give back more.
I think these two gentlemen said it perfectly. I mean, nothing more that we could say but right now, thank you. A lot of you may be hearing that the podcast is growing, and then we're getting recognition now, and maybe we're starting to make waves to bigger names out there. But we've always said that the podcast was never about that, and it still isn't. The podcast has always been centered around a community, centered around you guys. We don't do this to get our name out there. We don't do this for recognition. We do it for the love and the support for America, and for the love of the community. We've built something so small and compact, and grown it in such a short amount of time that we're extremely proud of what we've accomplished. And really, to be honest, it's not even our accomplishment. It's all of you guys's. Yeah. Every single one of you guys have made this possible, and I've said it time and time again. This podcast is no longer ours. This podcast is more yours than it is ours. In this sense, we're just three guys working for you guys, is giving you guys the best reporting and then the best coverage in English, and we're gonna continue to do so. To see the support that we're getting, it pushes us to work harder. It pushes us to be more creative, to be more attentive, and to be more on our toes, and to show more initiative. We know we have a big responsibility because we do cover America, but we don't look at it in this sense. We look at it as something enjoyable, as something fun. And
I have fun doing this.
And it's all because of you guys. And like I said, one day we hope to be able to give back to every single one of you, because we know there's been people here from the beginning when there was five people following us, or 12 people following us. And when me and Dylan were starting this up and had no idea what we were saying on the microphone, it means the world to us to have such great support, such a great community. And you know what? At this point, it's not even a community. At this point, I truly believe that this is a family. And like Dylan said, one day we hope to be able to meet all of you, shake your guys' hand, be able to share and indulge in a conversation, a face-to-face one. It means the world to us to have you guys here to support us. And like I said, from the people here on the live chat to everyone listening on iTunes and SoundCloud and on Twitter and liking us, retweeting us, it's everything we've ever expected for. And then we know that with the continuous support of your guys' help, that we will continue to grow this family. And at the end of the day, that's what we want. That's what we want. We want us all to grow together. Not us three. The three faces that you see here, our objective is not for us to be, in the sense, this popular, famous. It's to get the recognition of the community out there. It's to get the word that there are America fans in English that want this support, that want this community, and that want this, and believe me or not, the club knows about you guys. Believe me or not, that the team knows about the support in English. They know about you guys, and you guys, the people that support us and the people that support America and do all of this in English, believe me, you're a big role to play as to why America has an English account to this day. So give yourselves a pat on the back. And again, thank you so much for the support. It means the world to us. I could sit here all day and thank you guys. But again, thank you, and we hope to continue to see you guys and support us. So thank you again. And now, without further ado, Dylan will be announcing the winner of our giveaway: one PS4 winner and one Xbox One winner. Ladies and gentlemen, we wish you all luck, and don't worry, do not get discouraged if you do not win. We have a 600 follower giveaway. We have a YouTube giveaway coming up shortly. We have almost a 700 giveaway, and
A lot of giveaways.
A lot of giveaways that we have on our mind, because at the end of the day, like Christian said, the most important thing is for us to be able to give back to you guys just the way that you guys give to us. So, Christian, without further ado, stand on the pedestal and let the people know who is our lucky winner.
It's not me, it's Dylan.
Oh, yes, Dylan, go ahead.
So,
do the PS4 one first.
Crap, I forgot which one's the PS4 first.
It's
no. Do the Xbox one. Do the Xbox one first, and then we'll do the PS4.
Crap, forgot
the Xbox one is
It's literally the first one.
Yeah, it's the no. Oh my god, we're doing this live. Are you guys kidding me? oh yeah. The one that you wrote in the Hangouts chat. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, so without further ado, for the PS4, right? We're doing that one first.
No, Xbox.
Xbox. Oh my God. Okay, so for the Xbox, I don't want to say this ad. Okay, so Xbox is Finta251 at Finta251.
At Finta251. We will tweet at you right now as well to announce that you are the winner on Xbox. Congratulations to Finton.
Finton. Oh, I said that wrong. Oops.
Nice one, Dylan. The next one, though. I don't think you can get the next one.
So the next one.
Oh, dude.
The at name, which, oh gosh. At name is Big Daddy G60.
I love your at name, definitely.
Oh, man.
Our winner for the PS4 is at Big Daddy 60. Big Daddy G at 60. We promise you he did not win because of your name. Because of his username.
Definitely
it
not,
just happened to be that.
Yeah.
So those are our two winners, and congratulations to the both of them. It was completely at random. We completely chose you guys at random. We piled up the Xbox people on their own pile. We piled up the PS4 people on their own pile. We did a randomizer, and these two names popped up. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your winners. Again, thank you so much. I think at the end of the day, I don't want to be corny or cheesy, but we all kind of win in a sense when we do kind of these things, because it's you guys who help us get to this situation that we are able to give back. But do not get discouraged. I promise you there is more and more opportunities. You never know. Maybe some random day throughout the season, we're live on the podcast and we'll do a random giveaway on whoever's listening at the moment. You know
what? Yeah, we could. Maybe that could be the 600 one.
No, that can't be the 600 one. That 600 pertains to everyone on Twitter. I'm saying like everyone who's like now, like whoever tunes in.
Oh, like right now? Oh, okay, got you.
To the podcast.
I got you. I'm sorry, guys.
It would be interesting. It would definitely be interesting. But again, thank you guys. I hope you guys aren't discouraged at the fact that you guys didn't win. We feel so bad because all of you guys are here and we're not able to give you guys all something. But don't worry. One day we hopefully can and give back more than in just this sense. So congratulations to our two winners. And Christian,
what's up?
Why don't you let these wonderful people know what our 600 giveaway is going to be on Twitter in the upcoming days?
I got you. Okay, so once we hit 600, we thought about this and it was perfect timing because something got announced. So in the next couple of days, we will be announcing on Twitter how to enter this 600 giveaway, but the 600 giveaway is the third jersey. So one of you guys will be getting the new America third jersey, the orange one. You guys don't know.
Look at that. Who said orange wasn't sexy? Look at that. So we're definitely giving away something else now. 600. We're giving away a new jersey, the new America third kit. hopefully you guys are excited for that. I know I was. When we hit 600, I was like, we got to do something. And these two gentlemen came up with a very good idea. And hopefully you guys are excited and ready to go. We're at what? I think we're like at 84 followers on YouTube.
Subscribers. I want to say 84. Yeah, 84, 85. Yeah.
So once we hit 100, we'll definitely do a giveaway for that.
Definitely. So if you guys want a YouTube giveaway, go tell your friends to subscribe to us.
Yeah, all we need is to get to that 100 number. And I mean, we're so close on Instagram as well. So
there you go. Another giveaway there. And then we were 68 away.
68 away from
on Twitter
700.
For 700 on Twitter. So there's another giveaway.
And I will tell you this much.
A lot of giveaways.
Yeah, a lot of giveaways. And the biggest giveaway we'll ever have is going to be our 1,000 giveaway.
On Twitter.
That is going to be phenomenal. So we'll talk about that when that
happens.
I'm giving away my paycheck.
It's all right, though.
Feels like I'm giving away my tax return. No, thank you to everyone again. Thank you so much to the winners. Congratulations to every single one of you who came out tonight. Thank you to everyone listening on SoundCloud, iTunes. Thank you so much. If you haven't done so, go follow us on Twitter at Eagle Eye Podcast, and interact with us. Shoot us a DM, shoot us a question, a link, whatever it may be. Let us know. We love interacting with all of you guys, and you guys can also find us three on the podcast as well on Twitter, where you guys can follow us as well if you guys want to interact with us. And we'll get in contact with all of you hopefully soon. And like I said, thank you so much. This all means the world to us. And again, this podcast is yours. It's not ours. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to be able to voice our community. And again, couldn't say it any better. Gentlemen, anything else you want to say before we end the night?
No, I'm good.
Just thank you to everyone who entered the giveaway. I'm sorry, like Ivan said, we can't give everyone something, but we wish we could. But I hope you guys enter the upcoming giveaway, because we have way too many giveaways. But it's all right though, because we love giving back to you guys. Thank you, and thanks for tuning in.
And if we haven't said so, Trivia too has a giveaway. So
Trivia has a giveaway too. We haven't thought about the prize yet, but it's gonna be better than last year. At least that's what I'm trying to do. Better the prize every year, so more of you guys will enter, and there's another chance for you guys to win there.
Definitely. All right, we'll see you guys next week. See you guys on Saturday as well on Twitter. Make sure you guys do follow us at Eagle Eye Podcast, and also make sure you guys keep up with everything. We'll see you guys very, very soon. And as always, Arriba la América. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful good night. And #Lady Águilas.